And it looks like we're live. Welcome to the Psychic Coffee Shop. I'm Aeson Knight, and of course, with me tonight in my co-host seat is Techy Joe. How you doing, darling?
I'm doing great. How are you this evening?
Oh, halfway evil and planning to take over half the world.
Only half.
Well, yeah, who needs
I
the
need
other
the
half?
whole world.
You don't need the whole world.
Yes, I do.
It's going to get taken over by ocean anyhow.
Okay, well, I don't want that part.
Didn't think you wanted that part.
But it would be nice to have oceanfront property in West Virginia. Just saying.
Give it 20 years, honey. Give it 20 years.
Yes. Hello, Gwen. Lovely to see you this evening. Wee.
So how is how's the week been?
Oh, ours or theirs?
Everyone's.
Well, ours has been pretty good.
Yeah, we didn't really kill anything, blow up anything.
No, actually, you're bringing life into the house.
I know.
The garden is moving along. We have a lot of stuff. So we've got that going. Hello, Sharon. Now that he's got me calling you that, I can't stop. But no, we've got life coming into the house. We found some awesome deals. So I now have more cricket supplies.
Yes. Yes, Joanne was having some lovely deals on planners, so I can get my planners a little bit more updated. The replanning is planned for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I get to take over the kitchen table and just say, let me be.
No, you can't have my workspace.
I know. I think I'm going to have to get another kitchen table.
No.
Workspace. I know.
So we are streaming. Yay. We have validation. And Gwen is on a nature high after being submerged in a lake.
Yep.
Cool. Very cool. Now, okay. So that kind of jumps us a little, though, and I'll ask questions. So how was the lake? Because I know I've seen reports that Summersville Lake was super crowded.
Yeah, and
there have been a few news stories on that a lot of people were just like, oh, screw the pandemic, I'm gonna go have fun. What was your experience? Was it like everyone was there but somber and just kind of like, okay, let's all be responsible and have a little fun? Or was it like, this is a lot of people and kind of crowded and I'm glad I'm wearing a mask? But yeah, because that's kind of a big news story.
It is. Well, and this has been a very large news story. For those tracking the numbers, we went up over the weekend a lot.
Well, and right now from Memorial Day weekend, we are 2 weeks out from knowing whether or not everyone having a fun holiday is going to be a big problem. Yeah. Especially since a lot of what we were seeing involved out-of-staters, not just people out of area, but out-of-staters,
right?
Hitting our towns and cities, and while I know a lot of people are like, "What's the big deal? I don't get it." I'm still sitting here going, "Yeah, but." People that had to drive 5 hours to go to the lake and have a great time, they had to go through a lot of places. I am sure they did not just bring a total travel kit of food and all necessities that they were going to need for this trip, and just did not shop anywhere local, did not get out of the car except at the lake. No, I'm not buying that. Like, these are people intermingling in our communities, and they are from out of area.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Jessica. Ooh, apparently it was a madhouse. Is what Gwen's saying.
Mm.
Apparently it was overly crowded at Audra and Stonewall Jackson. Yeah, I can believe both of those. Stonewall Jackson especially. Like, that's gonna be a weird one anyway. And then of course I saw on the news that Bluestone Lake / Bluestone Dam, that whole area is closed down right now due to flooding.
Right.
Like the water's too high, it's not even a thing.
Mm-hmm. Hello, William. How are you? Doing great. Sorry, guys, I had to get the social out and get it posted out and shared out and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. And a great big hi to Brenda. Don't forget her.
Brenda. Yeah, we didn't do it. We didn't go out. We're still doing, staying home like we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Per Super Doc, which was different. Although, the garden and the yard is going to look great by the time I'm let out.
Well, yeah, and we've got the cantina up and running. We've got the grill going. We thankfully survived the winter inadvertently with the propane turned on. Apparently, somewhere in there we thought we turned it off and didn't. But hey, it works. It's happy.
Exactly.
Yay, my brother-in-law having awesome super skills in redoing tanks.
Yep.
Because that valve worked.
And I don't know. I have been entertaining, going back and doing in-person readings other than like video conferencing, which you guys know we have available. And I literally put it to, Tarot Professionals is the board that, I sit in. I'm not on the main board. I'm part of in the body of it. Mm-hmm. And they were like, no way. Currently, so guys, got a question. What should we be doing when we return? What's your thoughts on this? My post there currently has more comments than the one that someone posted about tarot being devil worship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, can we all just stop and appreciate that? Like, tarot being devil worship didn't tick off the Professional Tarot Association as much as.
Yeah.
Should I go back to work now? What are the rest of y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was like a few that's like 6 foot away. And I'm like, my desk isn't 6 foot wide. We'd have to turn it long ways.
Yeah, that's where a lot of these things start to fall apart, is some things don't really reconfigure easily, and especially something that's supposed to be as like kind of intimate and personal as a tarot reading. Now, granted, you have clients all the time that are like, do you mind if my 2 sisters, my 3 kids, and 8 other people join me for this?
Yeah.
Which typically we're like, could you please not?
Well, typically I'm like, whatever, but be warned, they're going to hear everything I talk about, and I ain't filtering.
Exactly.
Like, can my boyfriend sit in? And then you asked about the relationship, and I'll look at you and basically say he's a damn fool, and you need to be running him off. And people look at me like, oh my God, you said that in front of him. Yeah, I did.
You asked for a reading.
Yeah. But no, basically I got told, stay home, use Zoom, and be a good little psychic.
Yeah, basically.
So, we're still 2 weeks out
to
my possible return to real people, to face-to-face readings. There will be precautions, a lot of precautions in front of, and, sorry, that's the way it's going to be for a while. At least until we got, a shot, a nasal spray, something that's actually proven.
Yeah.
Yeah. which I'm liking. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, we've already heard that bleach is 100% effective at killing it on surfaces.
Yes.
Sorry.
Not injecting anger.
I'm still having that moment with that one of like, really, like that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Like that is what we're having to deal with. Like, who put this to the children's table? Like, that's where I'm at.
Well, it's gotten so bad, even Twitter has decided to start fact-checking these politicians.
Yes. Actually, all world leaders even.
Yes.
And there are posts that are being tagged with links to information from reputable sources, which is not Fox News. Sorry to burst anyone's bubble there.
Oh, don't you know that they're upset with that? Fox News is now being told that they need to fire all their staff.
I think honestly with Fox News, there's really not much you can say to them or about them that really upsets them at this point.
Right.
Like, what haven't we said? Like, what hasn't anyone said? Like, the world.
When they released the poll, showing that somebody is not about to win a landslide.
No.
Basically, they got tweeted at that they needed to fire all their polling staff and their reporters.
Yeah. Because, the only thing that stops a good politician... Wait, I've lost my metaphor already. Never mind. I give up.
Well, I think facts are facts. And then we always deal more in facts. I'm glad that like Twitter and Facebook are starting to stand up to some of this crap that gets put out here. I am so tired of the conspiracy theories. Do I think we have all the information? No.
Yeah. And the biggest problem that social media has run into, and it was kind of the argument that Mark Zuckerberg got into when he was as part of his congressional testimony. For many, many, many years was this idea that, this kind of open exploration of information and human exchange would be this self-correcting, self-sustaining ecosystem. And that invariably bad data would fall out. Like that with the constant use, it would be like shaking a tree and the bad apples fall. And it'll be okay. Unfortunately, what's really gone on for at least the last decade is more so this proliferation of bad apples. That, the tree is diseased. Like, this isn't like we're not shaking out like just the few bad apples. We're touching the tree and getting landslided in bad apples.
Right.
Like, no. And it's been really problematic for these companies that are running, social platforms. Because the idea is you want to let this be a communications platform and you don't want to sit here and micromanage everything someone says.
Right.
Like every user all the time.
Right.
And so to get these platforms to a point where they're having to go, okay, that's enough, means this is how critically, one, important screwing up is, and the misinformation is, and two, how much of an insult that is. That, okay, if we're talking about, YouTube celebrity, blah, 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 who has 20 million followers and, makes bukus of money and all this, doing a lot of misinformation on their channel, that's one thing. Like, to a degree, you can kind of see the platform's point.
Right.
is that, eventually this will all come crashing down around them.
Right.
The problem that we're in is we have world leaders doing this. Like, these are the elected officials. These are the people that that are the highest figurehead of our world governments who choose, and this isn't a mistake, choose to sit here and continuously and repetitively offer the same bullshit.
Right. Well,
it sounds great to parts of their base.
Right. But also, now this is a comparison. On Twitter, I'm a very avid Twitterer. It's Aeson K. Is my current Twitter that I use. And I'm not seeing political posts after political posts after political posts. However, on Facebook, dear goddess, as soon as I get done researching the show, I'm going to go clean my cookies and my history and whatever. Because otherwise, I get a ton of political posts.
Yeah. Well, like, and that's, but it's also one of those things that is, we're running into election season. This is an election year, and not just at like your regular municipal levels.
Right.
This is a federal election year.
Right.
So with that comes, like it's the modern equivalent of trying to watch the nightly news. When you go online now, is that this is prime advertising real estate.
Right.
Because there are more people, looking at their phone screens and scrolling through Facebook at any given moment than there are watching the news.
Right.
And with that comes, where are you going to put your money?
Well,
technically, Facebook advertising is a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is, that causes my Facebook to think that I'm Republican.
Okay. Well, no, that's not necessarily what happens, that you get a bunch of Republican stuff. It's that you are connected to. Whether professionally or personally. Sometimes it's literally who you're connected to, or the kind of things you have said, or the kind of, like, this is really invasive advertising.
And like, that's a good point. Yes, Facebook ads are cheaper. We spend on an average $100 a month on Facebook ads for my business. Comparatively, what was it, $125 for a 30-second spot?
What, on where?
When we done that one tank drive or whatever ad.
The road tripping with Terry?
Yeah.
No, and keep in mind that was a like 30-second one run.
Yeah.
Was $120 some dollars.
Yep.
You can easily, if you're talking even local network, like your local, Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC affiliate, if you're just doing local market advertising, you can spend many thousands.
Yeah.
To run those ads. That's why you will notice some of their biggest clients are like car dealerships. Or doctors' offices. And you may notice weird little things, like they sponsor, like, I know for WVVA, there was an ENT clinic that sponsored like a weather segment.
Yeah.
And I often wondered, is it just cheaper to get that tiny little logo during the weather than it is to run an ad?
Yeah, it is.
But,
Instagram is doing the same thing. See, Instagram and Facebook are two companies, but they're the same company. Like if I do an ad on Facebook, I can choose to do it on Instagram too. If you contact my, if you hit me up on Instagram, which I'm there too,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get my same appointment blocking, my same autoresponder if I'm not sitting in front of the keyboard, so you aren't waiting for a message from me.
Mm-hmm.
On Instagram also.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the same. The ad pricing is the same. It's, your demographic and how much you want to spend.
And you would not believe the tools they give you to narrow your ad targeting down.
Yep.
It's absolutely frightening. But you do have to be careful with a few things.
Yeah.
Like we found that out over time, is you got to be real careful with some things. Like you have to watch some of the words in your ad. Because if there's anything that sounds like an employment ad, you're going to get a great big warning that you can only use certain categories.
Right.
Because otherwise you're potentially engaging in discriminatory employment.
Right. It's like I can't do an ad for working 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you cannot use the word work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like work, job, anything like that sounds like that, you're going to get immediately knocked into the employment warning system.
Right.
In which
health related, anything that sounds like health, not happening. Facebook ain't allowing it.
Yeah, can't do health. Got to steer clear of politics.
Yeah.
Because that one will throw you in the forever category of pending review.
I'm still waiting for the whatever dorkass's name is, ad to get approved.
Oh, the Porterfield?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that one's in forever limbo. We're never going to see that one see the light of day.
Yeah.
Because we were like, hey, we would like to lend our support for, the call for his ouster, because dude is complete shit show. And that's not about political party. Like, just listen to him, and if you can sit there and come away and go, yeah, that's the delegate I want to represent me, I don't know why you're watching us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Spiritual work's great. Watch that healing word.
Do what? No, healing now.
Yeah.
Too much like healthcare.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially now, there's even YouTube has issues right now. Like a lot of videos dealing, like you'll notice it if you start watching videos on YouTube that have to deal with the pandemic. Do not use the words COVID-19.
Yeah.
They can talk generally about a pandemic or generally about what's going on. But the minute they use COVID-19 as a word, you're demonetized, you're screwed.
Right.
So like, yeah, basically once this video is uploaded to YouTube, we will never get a cent off of this one.
Yeah.
Why? Because I just said COVID-19.
Right.
I didn't say anything about it. Didn't say anything else to go with it. Like, whatever. But because I said it, bye-bye any profitability.
Well, and that's just the way it is. We rarely get monetized for our videos. But those ones, targeting the word psychic gets you a lot of attention. Tarot gets you a lot of attention. Yeah, use Reiki instead of healing. And graphic ads. Lots of graphics. I keep him busy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lovely, lovely healing system, Jessica. I have 2 different modalities in it and use it quite often. So yeah, if you don't have your Reiki, get your Reiki. If you need a good Reiki master and you want to come into West Virginia, because I think you're out of state on us, Christina Dolan, amazing Reiki teacher, and she can work with. Because when I took Reiki, my psychic senses came with me. So, as I'm working on the body, I'm going into muscle and tissue and seeing veins and bones and arthritis and all this stuff. And, the lady that taught me Reiki was like, stop that. I'm not teaching that today. But Christina Nolan is able to flow right with it, go right with it, and be right in there with it. Yeah, so you're just a couple hours away. Grab a hotel room, come up, do the first one. It's a 1-day thing. That's a day trip. The second one's a 2-day thing. So, I've got great recommendations for cheap hotels. Anytime you're willing to come up, Jessica.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, if you're going to get a Reiki training, you want to make sure that you're getting it a Sui Reiki first, because that's the root to everything, and then you can branch off and get your modalities. Like I have a Sui Reiki. She can take it.
Yep. Although we will say we ran into someone that was working with we've ran into a few people that have been working with Reiki masters, trying to learn. And so real quick, do you have a top 5 of like how to know your Reiki master is full of shit? Like if you're taking this, if you're trying to learn to become a Reiki practitioner, do you have a top 5?
One, they don't deal with you in person, that it's all video conferenced or all pre-recorded video. Reiki is not something you can do over video. The attunements need to be done in person. See, the other thing is check out their practice, check out what they're doing with their Reiki. If it's something additionally added to the class, i.e. the class is $125, but you can buy their super package that includes a meet and greet and a private Reiki session for another $25 for $50 or $100. Not a good practice. Or egocentric, saying like Reiki can cure cancer, and Reiki has this amazing, yes, it has amazing healing abilities, but Reiki very much works with Eastern medicine also. Yes. Any of those, that Reiki master is probably full of bubblegum.
Well, and then especially if like we ran into one person that they were a year in.
Yeah.
And I know you're like, you shot up on that one. Like what?
What?
Like
all 3 levels
1 year.
And how many clients have you seen?
Yeah. And then another one we ran into, like they were part of their Reiki class was basically creating these mats and plugging them into the wall to ground themselves. And
that wasn't a Reiki class.
Oh, was that not Reiki?
No, that's not a Reiki class. That was an activity in the class. Okay, guys, get your seatbelts on for this fun adventure.
Because I had so many comments, but let's go.
Okay. So there is a Reiki group that teaches Reiki over a matter of 5. They're currently going on 5 years, 1 night a week. That's not Reiki. That's not teaching Reiki. You can get it done in, level 1 Reiki can be done in a day. It's 8 hours. Fine. You want to break it up a little bit? Fine. But, okay. So this little Reiki group started creating Reiki mats. And what they did is they took a plastic vinyl placemat and ran copper wiring all the way through it, like in a pattern of the chakra ray or whatever, and then hooked it up to a cut-off extension cord. that they had took and pulled the plug pieces out and just let the grounding piece be there. And they were plugging this in to an electrical outlet and laying the person or the body, on this mat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm hoping that, they weren't behind in class and was able to pull out everything. Otherwise, you're going to get electricity.
Yes. Well, and then my first immediate question on that one was like, so did you try to power a clock with it? Because my first thought when they were talking about this is I just envisioned one of those like science class potato clocks. And I was like, could you run a clock with it? Like, that'd be cool. But still, this sounds a little bit over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at like a 5-year mark. Like, you are working on your Reiki masters for 5 years.
Yeah, going to class once a week for 5 years. For like 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah. No, like, there was nothing about this program that sounded legit. We felt so bad for her. And do you happen to remember what was she paying per class?
I'm thinking it was like $35 a class.
Okay, so 5 years, once a week, $35 a class.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just real quick. I gotta calc that. So yeah. So 35 times 52 times 5. She has spent $9,100 trying to become a Reiki master.
Yeah.
And she's not there yet and is making mats that plug into the wall for grounding. Wow.
All right. Normally, a Reiki 1 is anywhere from 100 to 175.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go high end. 175
Mm-hmm.
for your Reiki 1. Your Reiki 2 is normally 200 to 275. Your Reiki 3 is somewhere between 175 and 275. And then if you don't get the master course in that, like some teachers break it up, some people don't, but a master level, I would say, is probably 250 to 300.
So all totaled, after all the levels, you should probably have about $1,000 invested. Adding it up,
1,500 basically for that. But that's all 6. I have 1,500. But that's all 6 of them.
Okay. So yeah. So all totaled, though, you should be looking around no more than a couple thousand.
Right.
And you should be looking time-wise at like total time spent in class.
Total time spent in class, about 4 days. But I spread mine out. Mine was spread out over 2 years. Because I took a Reiki 1 and I was like, gonna have to let that adjust. Took a Reiki 2, could not stand the smell of meat for months.
And yeah, that's kind of where he's at, Brenda, is that, yeah, like if the third one also includes the masters, then yeah, that's totally reasonable. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're but seriously, like, what the heck? How, I don't know, like that's a lot of money and a lot of time. Like, oh man, I felt so bad for that girl though.
Right.
I was just like, oh my God, you, like, wow.
Right. And she's not even got her second or third attunement.
Yeah.
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 What? And I'm sorry. Granted, I teach a lot of classes, and my Wicca 101, which is a year. It's a Wicca 101 with a year and a day program. I teach up to a tarot mastery level. I can't see $9,100 for a class for me. I mean, I'm a decent teacher, but I'm not that phenomenal.
Well, and we've also run into some areas in which, like, granted, the price on your classes is usually like a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Anyway, but just the numbers were unreal.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God. It was like someone financing one of those damn get rich quick, learn how to invest or, passive income kind of, BSE programs. Like, it's that level of money, like $9 grand.
Well,
dude, how many students took this class?
Well, here's the thing. The little $25 intro to tarot, it's literally the one I teach, the 3-card reading and how to look at a card, and we're done in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are selling that class because that came out of the Atlantis program back from PRN days.
Okay.
I teach that class in 2 hours. 2.5 hours. If I, take a smoke break so that the class can, if they start looking like they're in outer space, I take a break anyhow. So we'll go 2.5 hours. It's a $25 class. $1,000, $1,500, and they'll rent this big hotel and have you there all damn day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, because that's like because technically in house we call it shotgun tarot.
Yeah.
Think shotgun wedding. It's the same concept. It's right. Like tarot. Like you can learn it now. But seriously, because the manual for that's only like what 10 pages.
Yeah.
Like it's really not like it is not comprehensive at all.
No.
It is a quick and dirty tarot. Simple 3-card, understanding it. There's no history. There is no great and wonderful mystical insights on understanding tarot. It is basic.
Yeah. It's for students that have, for people that I call instantly a student that isn't sure if tarot is their tool.
Yeah.
It is here's a taste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's also the one that, like, you kind of carry around in your back pocket, and sometimes if someone's giving you a lot of grief, you're like, okay, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not like you're carrying the manual around, but, like, I've seen you get fed up with someone and be like, sit your butt down.
Yeah. This is how you read tarot. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
But, no, I get a little jumpy when I'm doing Wicca 101, year and day programs. And, there are people that have said, oh, you need to raise that price. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. Look, we are in a recession.
Yeah.
We have been in a recession since 2008, people. And they don't get it.
And the thing with Wicca year and a day is there is a bit of a cost to that.
Right.
And it's not just the class. Because we got into that discussion at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, okay, so why is this class so long? Like, why does this take a literal year and a day?
Uh-huh.
And there's a certain feeling of one, it's about the knowledge gain, but 2, it's about the reflective study because there's a lot that goes into that. And the money really is just for your time.
Yeah.
To be brutally honest, because at one point we had to sit down and make sure we could even print the manuals, go to the class, especially the one that has a good distance to it, and cover our travel expenses and break even.
Right.
Like, we had to really look at how we were going to handle these manuals and print them and what we were going to do, because otherwise it's like, honey, you're going to be paying to teach them.
Like, Brenda, yes, I have seen that. I have reported that so many times. They send me $300 and I will send your Reiki attunement to you at 8 p.m. on Thursday. Be ready to receive the energy. But if you can't, that's okay. It'll just be sitting there in the email box waiting for you. Drives me nuts.
Oh my gosh.
It's like I'm still waiting for the $800 candle.
I'm sorry, you got to fill that one in.
$5,000 candle.
Oh, you mean like the like your other takeoff though are people who, like, one, you really hate psychics that walk up to people and go, "You need a psychic reading. Come sit down. I've got to read you. My spirits are telling me that I've got to read you."
The ones that piss me off.
Oh, well, and then there's the ones that just start into it.
Yeah, those are the ones that really piss me off. Now, there's been people before that I'm at an event and I'm like, honey, why don't you come sit down? Don't worry about him. Joe, go get me a coffee. You know, that type of, you need a reading because you got some shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
What I hate is the New Jersey, she's actually Long Island. Drives me nuts. I will lose my temper and I have to stop what I'm doing and like go off the field for a little bit. Just walk up into Walmart or walk up at a fair and start doing a reading on somebody.
Yeah.
That's like walking up to somebody and just starting to undress them and redress them the way they should be.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Or touching pregnant women. Stop doing that.
Even more
Stop
annoying.
touching my baby. Sorry, to glom on to a Southern thing, that video is hilarious, is don't touch my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Situations in which you can touch my baby. Don't touch my baby.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, sorry, I love that. Southern thing gets me every time. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. But then you also have that issue with like the attachments, curses, hexes group.
Mm-hmm. Demons.
Yeah.
Dear gods, the amount of demons that are on this planet, according to some people, outnumber humans. Everything is a demon.
Or a hex or a curse.
Or a hex or a curse or an attachment.
And please deposit $2,500 and I can remove that for you.
Mm-hmm. Or I can make money grow for you. Give me $2,500 and cross my palms with some silver and I'll double it. I will call Agent Gerard at the FBI and give them your home address just to save me the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's... Or, the one I dearly loved was you had a client or sort of
you that I've had to back them out of that mindset and get them to realize that, honey, you have been not cursed, not hexed. You've not pissed off people enough for that. They just went after your bank account. Now, this is the number I need you to call and explain to him what has occurred.
Oh, yeah. Well, but now the other one that gets you, and you had this as a sort of client a while back, like, and I about died. We tried to schedule this poor man, I think like 15 times, or so it felt. And he was just a little too into it. And he was trying to schedule by planetary hours.
Oh, no, he was an astrologer. He was another professional.
Okay.
Okay. And he was trying to schedule an appointment with me during Pacific planetary influential hours because he thought the reading would be better.
Oh, yeah. But
I
no,
don't care if the moon's void, of course. I don't care if Mercury is setting in his, PMS time. I don't care if Jupiter is expanding. I read the same on Monday as I do Friday.
Mm-hmm. But no, we just kept getting appointments. Like we would set the appointment up, everything would be going great, and then you would call him at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh no, I can't do it right now. It's the wrong hour. Like we've got to reschedule to blah 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 blah." And it's like, okay, you're the client.
I think I ended up reading him at like 2 a.m. on a Thursday morning during an eclipse. I mean, when we got down to it, the reading was not that big a deal. And unfortunately, my guys are like, I don't know what this dude's problem is. Like, he needs to back off the astrology cocaine.
Yeah. Like, there's, I mean, again, because like we've had this conversation. By the way, if you didn't know, yesterday was World Tarot Day. But like we kind of have gotten into this conversation as well of, and we posted this yesterday for World Tarot Day, is this is not about predicting the future. Exactly. This is the path you're on. You can change this. Here's like some speed, like here's your forks in the road. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to make some decisions. Mm-hmm. And that's like the approach you have to take with it.
Right.
That it's sort of more about working within, like here's what's potentially gonna happen if you don't change some things. Mm-hmm. And astrology from the astrology class, I do remember because I got to set in finally. But it's somewhat follows the same principles. Mm-hmm. Is that it's not about you can't do this at this time. Right. It's not like there's a bad planetary hour or a bad, moon phase to do anything. You just have to be aware and realize that you might have to do it a little differently. Mm-hmm. Like, don't lock in. Like, this is not the goal, is not to make you afraid to move.
Right.
Or function because, oh my God, I can't do that. Like the numerology of your name is so wrong. I can't talk to you. Like, no, that is not the deal. That is not the idea. Like, right. Don't take it that level of seriously.
Well, tarot is a tool. Like, it's a tool. Mm-hmm. It's just like looking at Google and going, hey, Google, take me to 137 Asbury Way, New Jersey.
Yeah.
It will give you choices of routes, and then once you choose one, it'll say, all right, you've got a toll coming up, you've got a disabled vehicle coming up, you've got a cop sitting on your tail, whatever.
Yeah.
But in the middle of it, I decided to hit Route 2 instead of skittering on an I-95.
It'll figure it out.
And it'll go, okay, you've been rerouted. Same thing. Well, astrology is different. Astrology is more so, well, you can go to route all the way up the coastline to Route 2 on Route 2. You can take I-95 or you can take 792. Depending on which one you want to do here, these are the abilities you have along. If you take Route 2, you've got more snacks. If you take Route 95, you'll have more bathroom breaks. If you take this route, it's a direct route, and by the way, you'll need new tires.
Well, there is that. But no, I mean, and even from the intro to astrology class, and you had wonderful students, I'm not in any way insulting them with what I'm about to say. So if any of y'all watching, hold out to the end. But we actually had to have that moment within the class is because you had at least a few students that were getting really locked in real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, back up. That's not how this works. You do not have to wait to do stuff until this specific time and this specific moon phase. And, you just have to understand.
Honey, you're not talking about the astrology class.
Well, technically both.
You're talking about my candle magic class.
Well, the candle magic class, yes, but there was a lot of overlap there.
There is, because one formulates the other.
Right.
The tarot, the astrology, the tarot, all that are your screwdrivers, your hammers, your nails. The candle magic course, or using magic, or goal setting, or whatever you want to see it as, is actually building the kitchen.
Right. Well, but that's in terms of like the candle magic and spell work. But then again, on the astrology side, you could easily lock in and say, I just can't function. I can't start a new career right now. My third house is in Aquarius or whatever. And go, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. No. The point is, it will be easier if the conditions are better. It may be more conducive. It doesn't mean you can't.
Right. Well, it's like I'm looking for a new Aeson mobile. And when we, because I went back and started looking at the listings, and I told you I am not buying a car until late April, possibly even July or August, because these are the things that don't look really good on my roadmap. It's like, if you're on a road trip, you don't stop in New York to eat in the middle of rush hour traffic. It's really not a good idea to have a picnic in Central Park.
Well, as just a small side trip. Like, you don't just hop off the freeway for that. Like, no. But yeah. But no. It does get me though sometimes that some people, there seems to be this, I don't know what you call it, a group of psychics, astrologers, whatever, that each in their disciplines, kind of preach this gospel of you can't do that. You have to wait until the conditions are perfect, and you just can't function until.
Well, and it's this, and it really drives me up the wall. They have appointed themselves godheads. And lawmakers and rule makers. It's like they say, you can't buy your first deck. You either have to be given it or steal it from a reader. Please don't steal my deck. I get really pissy about that. You may end up in the freezer.
Oh, most definitely. And he means literally, not just like a clay figure of you.
Yes.
Especially if he's at an event.
Yeah.
We carry extra decks, but there are only so many. And if he hits a whole bunch of people stealing his decks, you better believe there's going to become a point when that last spare deck's gone. He is going to be doing a search by search of each person.
Yes. But metaphysically, yeah. Or steal it. I heard that one. It hit me in a class, and I had to quickly correct them. Tarot has been publicly printed since 1962. You can buy it anywhere. This is a way to control the amount of tarot readers in a given area, because, we're under a scarcity. There are only so many clients that we can have. Bullshit.
Oh, not anymore.
Please. I have I don't know, what were you up to? 11,000, 12,000 in the database? I'm not even sure right now.
No idea. But yeah, no, I mean, and then you have all the different aspects of it. That, some people just don't click.
Yeah.
And I've seen you at events and you hit someone and like it's oil and water.
Uh-huh.
Like, or more importantly, it's fire and gasoline. In the personality clash. And it's like, this is not gonna work. Like there's being a handler for events, I will say there are certain words that perk up my ears. And it has nothing to do with who you sleeping with or who you trying to hurt or who you trying to get rid of. It's none of that. Like there's just certain phrases that I don't like. I don't think you know what you're talking about. That it's like, oh, that reading's over. Okay, we just ended that one. We got to find that one a new reader real quick.
Or point blank, I'll look at him and say, I am not the reader for you, honey. You don't want to know what you came down here to do in your third life by the quadrian of the, you know, and why you are from Olympus and, like, how many books have you read? And please stay out of the fiction section.
Sorry, I just read Brenda's comment.
Oh, please state Brenda's comment.
1, you don't steal. 2, never steal off someone who can curse you.
And 3, don't steal off of Aeson because he doesn't just curse. He comes and collects.
Like, I will track you down. But no. Well, and most of that has to do with honestly and sincerely. I don't even really think you would be that upset about having your deck stolen.
No, because I've had it happen.
Well, but not
at non-pagan events.
Yeah, but not for the fact. Do you know, like, list for me places you can go get a deck? Please, we'll wait. Especially at 11 o'clock at night in the middle of an event that are open so that within 30 minutes he can be back to reading. Yeah, no. See, that's the problem. Is most of your metaphysical stores are closed. Most of your like few bookstores that carry them are closed. Virtually anywhere you could go, and it's not like it's a massive list that you can just walk in and be like, hey, I need a couple of tarot decks, let me choose amongst your massive selection. Yeah, no, not cool.
Yeah, and then you have me, who's a tarot purist, which you guys may be seeing some videos on this channel soon. We're debating on a new series called Aeson Does Wish Tarot. We'll see.
Yeah.
But there are decks I look at and I go, this is beautiful artwork, but I'd get more off of index cards. Give me hairspray, a candle, and a lighter, and some index cards. We'll do that as a reading style. The rest of this event. Yes, I have done it. Yes, I will do it again if I need to.
Aw. Yeah, he will totally let you borrow a deck. He is like cool with that. Like I'm sure you would even loan one out for a while and be like, just when you get a chance.
Well, if I've got stock, believe me, before I've said, here, just take that.
But no, like you want to talk about screwing up an event in a day? That was the point in which somehow we magically, pun included or intended, we magically ended up at an event and somehow not one single deck made it with us. Not one. Not one. And you were like, how does this happen? So we had to quickly find somewhere, and you had to start off an event by breaking in a new deck.
I've had to do that twice.
You were not a happy camper.
No,
Aww.
I've thought about doing that, because I've been offered to create my own tarot deck, and as soon as someone gets really good with his pen and his little keyboard thing, we'll probably be doing that.
Mhm.
But twice in the last 2 years, I normally have a deck in the car, a deck in my purse, a deck, 2 or 3 decks in my work bag, and there's probably a deck in the laptop bag.
Mm-hmm.
One was a tarot class. We done an event one day, and then I went to a tarot class and taught a tarot class. And literally, I walked into Moe's and said, "Oh, so what do you have in stock, honey?"
Oh, Brenda, you say that like I'm not. I am always busy.
But literally, one of the tarot, I think it was tarot 1 or 2, I walked in and was like, "Hey, Mo, what you got in stock? Let me see here. Okay, I'll take these." And they now live with Joe because they were Joe's tarot.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, we were up in Ohio. Don't know what happened to any of the decks. They were gone.
Yeah.
I said, "So we're going to Books A Million, and we need to get there globally fast because I have clients at 1 o'clock and it is 12.
Mm-hmm.
Make that soul move.
Yeah.
Get out of the way and I'll drive it."
And
I have better insurance rates.
And the wildest part of that trip was I took a wrong turn, did not realize what I was doing, and this is a part of Ohio where there is a toll bridge. It's not an expensive toll. It was like 75 cents. Wasn't it? Or 50 cents?
It was like 40 cents.
Cash only in 2019. Cash only. And we're both looking at each other going, oh, crap. Like, because it was a busy day on this bridge. I cannot get out of traffic and reroute. It is not a big turnaround area. We are stuck. We are going across this bridge. And we lucked into having exactly 40 cents in the car.
And to answer Brenda's question, if they ever showed up afterwards, no. My Thoth deck hasn't shown back up. My Cat Tarot deck that I was reading with for a little bit, who knows where the hell that's gone. Literally, I walked into Books A Million and they had 10 of those decks that you guys love. I bought all 10 of them. Here is my Visa. I'll take the tax rate off.
Basically.
Yeah.
But that was another thing you found in doing that is for a while there you had ordered a couple of inexpensive decks and you had been wondering why they kept it wasn't like the deck went bad in terms of, some decks hit an end of life and they're like, look, we're done. Mm-hmm. Which now is a thing I have in my brain and understand. But these were literally the decks disintegrated.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't figure out what it was because you were supposedly buying really high quality decks.
Yeah.
Only then, when he walked into a Books A Million and wasn't ordering online, you realized that you were getting copy decks.
Yeah.
And somewhere in this hadn't caught it because they were high quality copy decks. But the paper was just a hair thinner. The gloss coating wasn't the right coating. And we started comparing and it was night and day. Side by side, they look identical. The artwork's the same. But I'll be damned. These are totally different printings. Yeah. They have nothing in common. This isn't minor variation. This is a fake deck. From a disreputable publisher who copied someone else's design. And I'm like, that's seriously a thing?
Yep.
How is that a thing? It's paper. How hard?
It's like there was a promotion that PRN done that was the Miss Cleo decks. Customized for Miss Cleo because, that was a marketing campaign.
Yep.
And they sent them out to all customers that had spent over, I think it was $2,000 worth of network.
Mm-hmm.
Dear gods, those are going for like $70 and $80 to $400 on eBay. I'm like, are you kidding me? We paid like 20 cents to print them.
Well, some things have value for different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the artwork itself can be a nice collector's item.
And there are beautiful decks that are collector's items. I tell all my students, look at a deck. It needs to have symbolism. It needs to have correction. It needs to have things certainly, connecting for you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's artsy, then put it in a frame, stick it on the wall, make a lovely backdrop for it.
Yeah.
But if it's a work deck, let it be a work deck.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that's been some of the wildest stuff in all this that I was just like, what the heck?
Uh-huh.
Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I cannot say that I haven't gotten stories from going to events with you, because there are stories.
Mm-hmm. There are stories. There are some I enjoy doing events.
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing out a lot of events this year. I will probably not be at a lot. I saw a posting that West Virginia Paracon will be going on in June. Sorry, Aeson will not be there.
Yeah.
The first thing that I'm doing when I'm allowed by medical physicians to go back to in person is I will be going back to the Crystal Lotus twice a month, and I'll be going up to
Earth Magic?
Earth Magic. I wanted to call it Moe's Place.
Moe's!
That'll
it's
be
not the bar from The Simpsons, honey.
I know.
Spells her name different, and I'm pretty sure she'd be offended because I don't think she's calling out, like, is there a Seymour Butts? Is there a Mr. Butts? Mr. Butts?
But
we have a phone call.
Earth Magic has been so supportive during this time. She's always been really great with the community. Can't fault her one bit. I mean, she's on Messenger. She's linking customers up. She's linking clients up. She's, messaging me, can you do any appointments? Mo, I can do any appointment you want, honey. I just can't do them in person. So, yeah, those will be our two priorities. And then we'll begin looking at events.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aeson doesn't do events to pay the bills. Aeson does events to get out and see people.
Yeah. Well, and that's another big part of this is, like, we occasionally get people that really, like, it's weird. Some of the events we get at, like, some events are more congruent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're at a Ren fair and there's tarot reading, that makes sense. Or you're at, like, a Wiccan Pagan event and you're doing tarot reading, those work well together. But some of the other events we've done, we've had some of the wildest reactions from people that I can't believe you charge that much. Like,
well, after the other reaction of that of, oh my God, you do this full time? Because they'll ask me, what's your day job? This.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Honey.
Not a part-time tarot reader. He does not go to Starbucks the rest of the day. Yeah. Well, he does, but as a customer.
Hey, leave my mobile offices alone. I get more work done in a Starbucks than I do in my own office.
True.
Yes, I'm actually going to start doing a monthly video class.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it into rotation. I will still be doing the video classes. They may not be sponsored by a store. They may be independently on my page.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we will be doing that. We're also opening up. We're in the development stage of Aeson Knight Education, which you'll be able to take all of the classes that I have filmed on video at your leisure.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to get down. I've got to learn some web production plugin stuff to make that work, but that's going to be there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was a big goal. Actually, it was a big goal for last year that, well, 2019 is the year we need not talk about. Everyone knows that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had pushed this into 2020 that we were going to be looking at getting some video classes up and getting that done. And as we all know, everyone went online, as did we, into video. And it's actually, I really hate to say the words about to come out of my mouth, but like COVID-19 was a good thing in the sense that, like, that's the part I got hurry and cram in there. In the sense that we had a lot of ideas for the class and how we were going to do this, and I think we were kind of holding back on it.
Right.
Trying to do this perfect, wonderful, brilliant thing. And we kept planning it, and we kept talking about it, and we kept like, okay, well, what do we need to do, and how are we going to do this, and da-da-da-da. And 2020 and COVID-19, boom, you got to get out there. Like, don't care if you're ready. We got to do stuff.
Yeah. We've already took the deposit. We have to teach that class.
Yeah. Or more
importantly, how are we going to do this?
More importantly, you already got students started. Like the Wicked Year in a Day, it's like you already got students going.
Yeah. What am I going to do with them? How am I going to teach? I am not shut in. This is my thing. When I start a class, I don't shut it down. I do everything under the sun to get me there, to get me through it, because, I enjoy classes. I enjoy teaching, but, the video conferencing was because I wanted to do the really nice classroom view with a nice chalkboard behind me and displays and everything. And we were building those during 2019. And it was like, okay, none of this is ready. Scrap that. Let's move into this format.
Yeah. That was a nice plan. Moving right along.
Right. Well, it's like the House of Aeson. I had sat there and thought out and different products I want to do. This I want to do, that I want to do. It's like, well, now's the time. Let's go play in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Jessica has a cool thought here. She thought about how to use angel cards or oracle cards. Definitely read them, and the same as you would read anything else, you're going to get intuitive information, because I actually use in my sit-down readings, or if you ask for it by phone, the angel cards too. And I'll do a tarot spread, and then I do an angel spread. But over the phone, I normally go straight for your questions. That's a big difference between over the phone and when you're sitting in front of me. Because when you're sitting in front of me, I tend to use multiple decks and do a full layout and talk you through it. Whereas over the phone, you're paying by the minute. And I really don't think, and I kind of go into what I call ER psychic. Is boom, 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 boom. What's your problems? Let's go. Boom, boom. It's not well, come sit down, shuffle your deck, honey. You take your time, and I'm going to just sit here and drink my tea while you're shuffling for 30 minutes, and then we'll do a reading. Oh, I have a wonderful use for those little booklets. The little booklets that come with cards or comes with oracle cards or whatever. They're lovely. They work great to coaster my coffee cup or to prop up an uneven table at an event. Those are wonderful to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is cute to watch him open a new deck. It's like immediately the box and booklet go flying, never to be seen again.
Right.
Don't need that crap. Let's go. It's like, okay, seriously, can you stop?
You can survive your box.
Do what now?
Your deck, does it have the little white book in it?
I think it does.
Look and see if it's got a coffee coaster.
Oh, if it's got a coffee ring, no, it does not.
Okay. I only used it that one day and it went into the glove box.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
It did. Like the weird, like I will say that part of our relationship is me having to adjust to some things now live in certain places of my life that I never imagined, like opening my glove box and finding, or opening my dresser drawer and finding, or like I'm telling y'all here, it's weird. It gets weird sometimes. I just have to point this out. Like, I'm afraid to move bags of frozen peas. Like things like that. Like, I don't know. Am I disturbing the frozen people? Like,
Well,
like
honey, if they're frozen, shake them up a little bit. Throw them in there again. Oh, that drives me insane. Brenda's took my tarot class. You didn't use the manual for a little while, and then I'm like, nope, put it away.
Yeah.
And for a paid reader to be using a booklet, what the heck?
No. Well, okay. Yeah, no, if other reader, like if you're sitting down paying to have a reading and they're using a booklet, just stand back up.
Yeah.
Just consider it like money you put in a tin cup with a guy on a street corner and walk away.
Right.
Like you're done. You're done. It's right there with the dude like using the nasty rag to wash your windshield.
Yeah.
Just here's your money, and like you did your charitable event for the month.
Right.
Like that's it. Move on.
The other thing that gets me and it drives me insane is, and I don't deal with well, is non-professionalism in our business. Oh, you want to see Aeson livid? Have him show up for an event that isn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
With other psychics, and they're like, oh, I don't know where I put my tarot last Thursday. And this is like Sunday.
Yeah.
It's like, grr. Or, they just come floating in an hour after the event started to set their booth up. What the hell?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have a real hard time not dressing in a suit when I go to an event.
Well, and I mean, like, there's a certain level of professionalism in everything. And I've noticed, though, there are, like, with the events in general, even.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even going to, like, sit here and attack other psychics.
Right.
That you have worked with at events. I'm going to back up a little bit and go the event in general. I have seen some things.
Right. Well, it comes out of my training. I came out from that old style of reading, that old style of teaching, Sylvia Brown, Vincent von Prague.
Mm-hmm.
When we were doing readings, by golly, we better show up in a suit, preferably a black suit or a blue suit. Nothing flashy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you in a tank top and short shorts at an indoor corporate event?
Yeah. Well, or some of the events we've been to, and again, I'm not just talking psychics. I'm talking everyone.
Everything.
Because there are sometimes, because, again, being like a handler for an event, I end up in like different spaces. Like I'm not sitting and doing readings. So obviously I'm getting up, running errands, grabbing stuff, doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like you start to pick up like other vendor conversations while you're doing that. And there was this one in particular that always stands out. And she was another vendor at an event. She not a tarot reader at all. Nothing towards what she was doing was tarot related. But she was just complaining about just how horrible a day she was having. And that, you know, she just didn't think anyone took her work seriously. And I look over and it's like, honey, you look like you just rolled out of bed. And I think personally, my bed would be insulted with what you're wearing. Mm-hmm. Like, let's just have a conversation about the fact that you're going to an event and you need to make a public impression. And I ain't even going to get into your product because I saw your product. You talked it up a real good game. I went and saw your product. Wasn't impressed with that either. But just you as a person and the way you are presenting yourself right now, no, honey, no one's taking you seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone kind of thinks you're a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are literally people pointing and laughing at you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, wow.
And I'll be the bitch that says it.
Oh, God.
I know the vendor he's talking about. None of our current chatters know this person. But I've been to many, vacation Bible schools. My father was a preacher, so vacation Bible school started sometime in the middle of June and lasted all the way till September for me. Because we went to a lot of them. I've seen 3-year-olds do better ones.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But
well, and what really got me with hers was, if you can't tell behind me, those are wine boxes. I have a thing for wood boxes in general, not just wine boxes, but wood boxes in general. What got me is she was talking this really good game about her really nice, handmade, one-of-a-kind wood boxes. And what killed me was walking over there and realizing that what she's talking about is she went to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, somewhere, got one of the unfinished wood boxes, like you go and do a nice little VBS project and you glue crap to and paint it and blah, blah, blah. And yay, memory box or whatever. That, like, she stuck a shell on and not even well. Like, there's, like, glue, like, bleh, everywhere. And I'm just going, like, well, hell, if that's, like, considered being a vendor, I could shit that out all weekend long. I could have stock for years.
Yeah. So, and I think that's why with House of Aeson, I've gotten so particular about this is what I'm going to have. This is how we're going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, we were talking about this morning of me, testing some things out, seeing how they go in video, seeing if I like them. Because there's some things about the metaphysical world that annoy me. Like going shopping for tarot cards.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know the tarot, the deck itself, like I buy the same deck like 20 times because I like that deck. But if you're buying new, you can't open and play with. You can't touch. You can't look at pictures. You can't really tell what the artwork is because normally the best card is on the cover of the box.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Brenda gets it. Like she's been there, she has seen this. I mean, and it's like finding diamonds in the rough. Is like you're walking around and like in this sea of like someone is crafty and thinks they're an artist. Those are two different things. There's actually a couple of artists that actually make really nice quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just like good luck finding them.
Well, luckily we have two that I just dearly love. Emily, the one that done your TARDIS behind you.
Yes, Emily Mott. We love her. She is amazing.
Yes. And then Mark Davis.
And speaking of
too many Davis.
We're
Yeah,
so
they can't
happy.
get done.
This is one of two. We bought two.
Uh-huh.
So this one is actually probably going to end up in that. I hate being reversed on camera. Can I point this out? So this one will probably end up there.
Yes.
But yes, these are based on his Pulse series,
Yeah.
or the Pulse image that he did many years ago.
Right. But the cool thing with that is, and we've shared it on our pages.
Shh. No, it is not. It is not. Do
You
not send the BBC to my house. I swear to God, I'll track you down for that. Because BBC licensing is very big deal. So no, it is not a TARDIS. It is inspired by.
right. But Mark Davis is doing this really cool thing. He's selling those, I believe they were like $50 each. $25 of that, however, is going to necessity packs that he's going to be passing out to the homeless in Virginia and West Virginia. So, of course, we ordered two because I love that piece. I love that artwork of that piece. I loved it on a t-shirt. I really like it on a painting. Like, I think once we get that matted and framed, it's going to look gorgeous in the places we put them. But the link is somewhere on our page. Go click it. Buy one. They're gorgeous. Buy any of his artwork. Buy any of Emily's artwork. Like, she does some really nice Asian accented artwork. She does a lot of custom work. And I think that is the biggest thing is, during all this, the one set of people that we've kind of forgotten is our artists.
Oh, yeah.
Our creators, our bands. A lot of bands are being able to, like, team up and do, like, videos, but they make their money Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night at the bar or at the Ren Festival or at whatever.
There's a lot of displaced people right now.
Right.
And like we've had this conversation in the last few days. God, why is that my phrase tonight? We've had this conversation. But
because it's been the past few days that I'm going, oh, why don't we do this? And why don't we do that? And how's this looking? And what about this?
Exactly. But no, like in this situation, in the pandemic situation, I'm now to the point I'm breaking people down into like 4 different camps. So of course we have essential workers who have had no choice in any of this.
Right.
Like they have had to put up and deal with so much shit. And all of it's bad. And wow, thank you. Seriously, that's not like me being sarcastic like when I normally say that. I mean, seriously, thank you. Then we have a second camp that is trying to remain healthy, that can work from home, that is following guidelines, that is doing everything they can. Then we have the idiot camp, who's like, masks are stupid. You're infringing on my rights, man. Like you didn't care about that when, bakers were refusing to bake us cakes, but whatevs, like now you get it because it applies to you because now you're in a minority. Welcome. First time. But then there's this third group that we were talking about recently that I honestly feel so horrible for because ultimately our government has abandoned all responsibility, is not taking any kind of like intelligent, proactive measures to help a very vulnerable population, which are the people caught in the middle. The people that are working for companies that know they can't work from home, know they're not essential, but they've got to put food on the table.
Right.
Like, be all end all of it, and our government hasn't stepped up. No one is stepping up. They're getting sent back to work unprepared. Like they don't have masks. They're not in any position to dictate. The only thing they have as a choice is to quit their jobs in the middle of massive unemployment At which point they don't qualify for unemployment.
All right.
Or they're being called back and they are not feeling safe and they still have to go because if you refuse a job, the Department of Labor would like to remind you that that disqualifies you
from
unemployment benefits. Like, really, there's two groups my heart is going out to right now, and that's essential workers and the people caught in the middle.
Well, and I think there's another camp there.
Okay.
And the other camp is the ones that don't fit into any of those boxes.
Okay.
The artists don't fit in any of those boxes because they can sit and paint at home.
They can, but it's hard in a lot of ways. A lot of their income is generated from events.
Yeah.
And various social gatherings and art exhibits and, gallery shows, meet the artist kind of things. That really, like, and that's not for the originals even, that's just for like the lithographs and the prints and things like that they're losing a lot of income. Like, realistically, a lot of this is really hard on them.
Or like me. And yeah, I've just went, I built this flexibility in here a long time ago. Been talking about it for about 4 years. Here you go.
Well,
and a lot of small businesses have dealt that. But really, the paycheck guarantee program should have been named the big company multi-locational guarantee. The people that worked at like Sephora, the people that worked at JCPenney's, none of them were included in this bailout.
No.
None of the mom and pop shops were included in this bailout.
No. And a lot of that was even at the banking level.
Right.
And it was because they prioritized their high dollar clients.
Yeah.
And not only just like helped them to fill out the applications, made sure they had all of the financial statements they needed, but literally did it for them.
Yeah.
So they could collect fees for it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we'll go ahead, but that was not the same level of involvement they were giving, like, your local bakery or your local metaphysical shop or your local whatever.
Right.
No, friggin' like Walmart needs a bailout. Yeah, sure, we'll help you out with that. Anything else we can do for you today?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is abandonment. That is a total abandonment by government of the people. I don't know. I think I missed something in the Constitution about our government.
Well, that's because corporate entities are people now.
Like that.
It's because corporate entities are people now.
Well, no. Sorry. Citizens United can... Okay, I'll be nice. No.
Family friendly, honey.
Huh?
Family friendly.
Oh, that was about to get like X-rated level angry.
I know. Yeah. So, shop local. Try not to do a Walmart's if you have a choice.
But yeah, and hopefully that'll be the big part that comes out of this.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of people will start to understand, because we're watching local businesses fail. We're watching, places that they were never going to be an 1,100 restaurant chain or an 11,000 store chain. That's not what they were trying to be. They were local.
Right.
So,
and
we're watching a lot of losses there.
Yeah. And you get better. The car market, where we now get our produce at. Because I'm really not caring about Kroger's produce. literally the head of cabbage that I got, and it was the smallest one they have, is the size about this big.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's going to be 2 to 3 meals for us.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will say that one of my biggest like losses in my lifetime, it's been a staggered process. As a kid, Princeton, West Virginia, we had a lovely office supply store.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful office supply store. Loved this office supply store. I loved going in there. I'm an office supply freak. I'm very specific on my office supplies. I understand people that are like that I can't use that pen because it doesn't write correctly. I get it. I'm there. I'm very specific. And I had this wonderful office supply store with a wonderful owner that would like set stock aside, knowing I'm coming in, like, you got to see this. And, we were running out and I know it's about time for you to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then he closed. Like, welcome to Walmart. Then I found big box office supply stores. Now what are we losing?
Yeah.
Office Depot and Office Max, which are now one company, are starting to close stores left, right, and center. Staples is closing stores.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Hey, Amazon, baby. I know exactly the pen I want, the exact
but that's the problem. That's the problem. Amazon, Walmart, these are your choices.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I want my local back. I want the dude.
Yep.
I'm with you, Brenda. I have death threaded people over my pens.
I enchant them.
Oh, is that what you do to all my lighters?
No, that's
all end up in your pocket.
That's Dad. You don't know the times I've walked in and found a lighter sitting right here.
Oh, goodness. Well,
I think me, because that's not convenient.
Oh, yeah. But I think we're getting to that time, aren't we?
We are. Unless anyone's got some questions for me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you have questions, great. I always love those. But if not, that's okay.
And of course, we want to thank Beverly Walker, our lovely Patreon supporter. We certainly appreciate your support. And you can find out more about becoming a Patreon supporter at pcspnetwork.com. I'll let you.
Yeah. Oh, you got a duck that moves around? I've got whole pieces of household that move around. Like, really, I ever sometimes wonder what they're doing on the other side. I think they just come around to mess with us, especially my dad, probably your mom. It's just like, oh, let's go have fun and see what we can aggravate the kids with.
Like, this is revenge for that time.
The other night.
So the duck kept an eye on him. Or her. Sorry. I do that. I make really bad assumptions like that. I don't know. Oh. Wow.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to close it out tonight. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll be online in about 2 hours if you want an in-person reading, or you can book an appointment through the Facebook page, which is linked in the bottom, or through the little box over here. Always remember that they are the day you have to book at least 24 hours in advance. I cannot take instant appointments. If you message me and it's for an instant appointment, you're just going to get my autoresponder. These are boundaries I've put in for the network's sake and for my sake. I.e., if I have to be up at 9 a.m. to take your appointment, I need to plan ahead.
Yes,
be safe, wear a mask, wash your hands. Yes, these are still important. Try to stay away from high trafficked areas unless it's greatly essential. Stay out of crowds.
Mm-hmm. The sooner we can get this under control, the sooner you can see Aeson in person again.
Yes, the sooner the numbers
Think of Aeson.
Well, the sooner that we can get back to real life and having cookouts and picnics and baseball games and everything else that we're missing out on, which
and
we're not
having
really
people alive to do it.
Yes. So until then, be safe, be well, more around. Have a great day. Good night, y'all. Good night, Joe.
Good night.